Hi everybody, it's Creepy Kitty and welcome to a game called Notice. I don't know anything about this other than it looks like claymation, and I've been kind of finding some claymation games off and on lately. Can I do anything with the light post? Maybe not. Oh no, I just go this way. As you walk home from a busy day at your internship, you find it harder to think straight. Is that car following me? I wish I took a taxi. Almost home. What was that? Almost home. Almost home. That's me with my anxiety sometimes. So you pause and notice. I wonder if this is going to be like that anxiety technique where I forgot what the numbers are, but you look at certain like a certain number of things, you smell a certain number of things and stuff like that. Oh, I can click on this. Okay, door. The front door to your apartment. There is a lock above and below the door handle, but you only tend to use the bottom one. When you go back in town to see your family, you use both. It makes you feel safer, even though the whole apartment seems to be occupied with nice elderly people. The door has a loud, creaking sound when it opens, but you don't mind because you only hear it a few times a day. The four walls that surround your space. As you run your hand across them, you feel the roughness of the new coat that was clearly applied just before you moved in. These walls feel cozy at times and confining at others. Shoes. A pair of brightly colored sneakers. You don't have room for a shoebox, so you just chuck them near the door. You bought them just before you moved out. You could have sworn the color was way more vibrant when you bought them. Wow, wait. How long has it been? A plant with big leaves. You don't really know what the name of the plant is. You just picked it up from Bunnings because you needed something to go in that corner. The smell of the soil has become less and less noticeable over the last few months, but it grounds you back to nature. Much needed when you are stuck inside doing work all day. A poster from an album you like. Is it all making one big music track? You can see the four dots of blue tack seeping through the corners. The poster is double-sided and you flip it every so often. It makes the room feel a little more like your space. Lights. A set of hanging bulb lights. You bought them because roof lights are so bright that they make you feel like you're being interrogated. The warm lighting gives a homely feeling to your space. Looking closely, you notice the three bulbs closest to the door are a different color. It's not worth getting a new set, but now you can't unsee it. A hand-stitched rug. It was half-stitched by your aunt, then she taught you how to do the rest. The line of where your aunt stopped and you started is glaringly obvious. But when you have guests over, they compliment the rug, but you can tell they're just trying to be nice. To the untrained eye, this carpet looks bright, out of place, and ugly. To you, it fits in completely. I like that rug. That's actually really cute. Oh! It's different. There's different dots. For, like, they made 3 different claymation frames or whatever for the rug. Cool. The rough carpet floor of your rented apartment. You spilled some coffee on your carpet and now you can't get it out. You have never been so worried about getting a tiny stain in a carpet. Is this what growing up is? Chair. A 3-legged stool. It was handcrafted by your uncle and gifted to you for your birthday when you were younger. It's the only reminder you have of him, so you've used it most of your life. Most of the back issues that you have developed probably came from this chair. Yeah, I have back issues too. A table made from scrap wood. When you first moved in, your table from home didn't fit, so you bought a cheap saw and cut a smaller one out of scrap wood. It is put together with nails and creaks every time you lean on it. You didn't put too much effort into making it because you weren't sure how long you would be here. Oh. That's sad. Book. A book titled Ready-Made Ruin, Claire Healy and Sean Cordero. You don't really know who the artists are, but you are drawn to the abstract nature of their work. You feel a little friction as you run your fingers across the glossy page. It has a comforting smell, but you can't describe it. And there isn't really a word that describes the feeling it gives you. A computer mouse. It came with the computer you picked up on the side of the road. Nothing special about this one. The cheapest keyboard you could find at Kmart. Sometimes the keys don't work, but you just press a little harder when that happens. It makes a thudding sound, calming to listen to when you type fast. I wonder how long it'll last until you have to get another. A smartphone with a slightly cracked screen. It's extremely slow, but you aren't getting a new one until it's broken beyond repair. You find yourself scrolling on social media for hours at a time, then ending it with a short moment of realization. It's mind-numbing and you hate it, but you continue to do it anyway. Ugh, me too. I doom scroll something bad. It's really bad. A can of soda left open from last night. You wanted to try because the package looked cool, but had one sip and gave up. It probably tastes flat and bitter now. You need to remember to throw it in the bin next time you go out. An old computer you found on the side of the road. Using it for uni work has been rough, but it still runs. It smells like the early 2000s or an old book. The only window in your apartment. It faces the rising sun. You hear the rustling leaves of the gum tree outside, even though the window is shut. There is a beam of sunlight shining through. If you move into just the right spot, you can feel the warmth on your skin. A tall paper lamp. As you run your hands along the paper, it makes a fragile sound. You almost never use it because it gets way too bright when you are right next to it on your bed. But you don't want to throw it away because you spent $40 on it. That's 2.5 days of rent money. A painting of the streets of France you made in high school. Every time you look at it, you see the promise you made to your 16-year-old self. Maybe you can go after you finish this internship, but you also promised your family you would come back to town. Too many promises. A king single bed. The frame is sitting deconstructed in the corner of the room. You bought the same mattress as the one in your room at home, but something doesn't feel right about this one. Maybe it's faulty. A guitar gifted to you from a close friend back home. The musky aged wood reminds you of your old house. You play it quietly every night. You don't want to wake up the neighbors in your new place. You notice that you rarely do what you just did. Just pause and notice things. You start to notice the thoughts that have been running through your head. Thoughts of missing home. Thoughts of the trees outside. Thoughts of the stain in your carpet. Thoughts of the amount of money left in your account. Important or unimportant. Deep or shallow. You notice how these thoughts make you feel. You notice how this feels alien to you. You rarely think that the thoughts, you rarely think the thoughts that make you feel strongly. Why? You are aware of each thought passing through your brain, like this one, and this one. This feels nice. You feel the cool wind in your nose every time you breathe in. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face. You feel the blood slowly rushing to your fingertips. You feel Why am I crying? What the fuck? That was really cool. Very, 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 very short, but it looked very cool. I thought it was impactful for the length of game that it was. It is really, I think it's really helpful to pause and notice how you feel in each moment. And I think that's something that I learned in therapy as well. Sometimes just taking a breath, breaking things down and to a way that you can understand things, and then reassuring yourself helps a lot. I thought this was really cool. It's a really good practice to just look around and be present in the now. That is something that I'm very bad at. I'm always anxious about the future, or feel guilty about the past, or ashamed, or whatever. So yeah, this was really cool. It's good exercise. Really nice short little game. I liked it. I don't remember if it was free or if I bought it. But if I bought it, it couldn't have been very much money. I don't think it was more than like $2 or anything like that if I bought it. But yeah, I will link this below just in case some of you out there need to have this little experience or show it to your friends. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!